Quick look at the chart. Bitcoin is being boxed in between roughly $62,000 and $65,000 for the past couple weeks. Sitting below both is 50-day and 200-day moving average. That's resistance, not support right now. RSI is neutral at 43, so we're not oversold. But under the hood, a couple of chain signal crypto quant cycle indicators and long-term holder profit levels are flashing early bottom formation. Translation: this looks like a consolidation, not a capitulation. The next real move likely needs two things: ETFs inflow coming back and Bitcoin reclaiming those moving averages. It's Saturday, August 15, and Bitcoin is sitting around $63,000. Yesterday, it slipped under 63,000 for the first time in almost 2 weeks. And it wasn't inflation data that did it. It was something almost nobody was watching: back to back ETF outflows. Today, we break down why it matters, why UBS just made one of his biggest Bitcoin's bets ever, and why a bank with Trump's name on it got the green light from a federal regulation. On Friday, US producer price inflation came in cooler than expected at 4.7%. Normally, the kind of news that sends risky assets higher. The SP 500, Nasdaq both climbed. Bitcoin did the opposite. It fell 1.4%, dropping below 63,000 to its lowest level since August 3. Bitcoin's ETF saw a straight day of outflow, totaling 192 million, the first back-to-back outflow stretch since late July. Bitcoin's rally over the past weeks has been powered almost entirely by ETF's demand. When that demand pauses, even for 2 days, the price feels it immediately, even when the macro backdrop is favorable. This is a reminder that ETFs flows, not headlines, are currently the single biggest lever on Bitcoin's short-term price. Swiss banking giant UBS just filed a squirrely disclosure with the SEC, and the numbers are striking. The bank increased its call option exposure to BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF IBT by 24 times, from 80,000 underlying shares in the first quarter to 1.95 million by the end of June. Its direct spot holding also grew up to 12% to nearly 408,000 shares, worth around 13.6 million. At the same time, UBS cut its bearish put options bet by more than half. UBS is one of the largest wealth managers on the planet and is preparing to let private banking clients in Switzerland trade Bitcoin and Ether directly. This filing shows the banks are not just testing the waters, it's positioning for real client demand. That said, the filing doesn't say whether this is client driven hedging or the bank's own bet. So we can't call it pure bullish signal, but the direction is unmistakable. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency gave preliminary conditional approval to the World Liberty Trust Co., a trust bank tied to the World Liberty Financial. The chapter will let it operate as a national trust bank, take on fiduciary duties, and most importantly, US1 stablecoin plus provide custody services to institutional clients. It's taking over stablecoins duties that used to sit with Bitco banks and trust finance. Final approval still requires the company to clear additional pre-opening requirements. This is a big deal for the industry, not just for one company. A federally regulated national trust bank chaptered specifically to issue a stablecoin and hold institutional crypto custody in the new territory. It lets crypto native finance plug directly into a traditional banking system. But it's also politically loaded. Senator Elizabeth Warren and other Democrats have pushed back hard, citing Trump's ownership stake and his influence over the regulators approving it. An Abu Dhabi investment firm buying into the world liberty early this year, only adding to the scrutiny. So here's where we stand. Bitcoin's consolidation under 63,000, big money like UBS still building positions, and Washington just handed a Trump linked firm the key to a stablecoins bank. What to watch out for next? Spot ETFs flip back to green on Monday. That's the number that decides which way this breaks. See you tomorrow.